Compound. That's ARTISTS. Compound, COMPOUND, and at www.artistcompound.com. Currently, we have a couple art openings. In August, we have August 16th, which is Sweet Sensations. We have 4 lovely artists and a bunch of vendors. So if you'd like to vend, please hit us up at info@artistcompound.com. And then we also have at Expressive, which is 5 artists, including Douglas as well. And we also have the Point of House on August 18th, which is free at the Point in Fells. So please come and check out our events and have some fun with us.
And last but not least, I'll let Sweet Baby give our final question. We got minus 30 seconds, so if everybody just give us the short version of their answer.
What advice would you give to your 17-year-old self?
The advice I would give to my 17-year-old self is to be yourself, stay true to yourself, don't be afraid of your feelings, let those feelings show, act on those feelings, because you're going to miss out on a lot of good things if you don't. So
I like that.
Douglas?
I'll take Nick's advice, first of all. That speaks to me deeply. And I guess I'd add to that, find things you love to do and are passionate. Find people who will help you take those up a notch, and who will help you find a market, who will help you, broadly speaking, not just a financial market, but who will help you find people who will appreciate those things, who will help you find a community who will nurture those things. So find activities you love to do and can be passionate about. Find people who will help to nurture you in that.
China May.
I think
she's asked this question like 80 times.
I know, I have. I try to come up with something different each time. So what I would tell myself is try non-traditional methods of art and ways of selling it, because...
Artist Exchange.
The Artist Exchange. The Artist Exchange. The Artist Exchange.
The Artist Exchange.
The Artist Exchange Live.
The Artist Exchange. The Artist Exchange.
The Artist Exchange.
It's your guest host TJ TranceVizion Bates. We're on Artist Exchange Radio, BeExposedRadio.com, and as you know, every second Saturday of every month, I take over as a guest host. It's more so ArtistVizion.com, where I interview a few artists. So today we have we should be having 3 guests in today. I know one is here. So usually I just want to give you a breakdown of Artist Vision, and pretty much as this one, as a visual artist, you know, I like to master my own craft, but I think you should also network, and network is pretty much the ideal thing to do to build your brand, to build up to be a well-known artist, and to get your ideas out. So as creatives, we gotta network. So through artistvision.com, I pretty much, that's my networking tool. I use that to spotlight artists in the city of Baltimore, but pretty much all over, or whoever I come across on IG. So on IG, it's artistvision or it's artistvision with a Z instead of a S in vision. And there I spotlight artists. And then on the website artistvision.com, I also do features, small features for artists, and this is just another outlet to display to y'all and showcase to y'all. All right. Show to y'all and display to y'all some dope artists. So also, I just want to let you know, well, on Artist Vision, I have a competition going on. It was a pop art / abstract art competition that I put together online, because at a period of time I couldn't really just do a show, like a physical show. So, excuse me, I wanted to reach out and for people to make money off of the artwork. So the cash prize for the abstract, depending on how many contestants actually enrolled, was like $40. We had a winner in that. Currently we have the pop art category going on. We pretty much for pop art, out of 20 entries, we picked the top 5 with the sponsored judges we had, and that voting ends Sunday. So if you're listening, checking in, check out artistvision.com to go vote on some pop art pieces. It's really dope. And from doing that and seeing that, I feel like some artists are kind of reluctant to display their work or promote their work. But in that section, you can get a cool $100 cash prize. So for some artwork, just a picture of your work. So if you ever get a chance, go check that out. But our guests came in, and can you hear? You can, but you can just introduce yourself, your information, and where you're from, and pretty much how you got into artwork.
Hi, my name is Kimeko, Kimeko Robinson, and I started doing art back when I was a kid, so it's always been with me, and I guess in the last 7 years, I've been, really hitting the pavement and painting a lot, and so I would say in 2007 I started painting again and doing art shows and stuff like that. I'm originally from New Orleans, so a lot of my art comes from that.
Okay.
The color and the vibrancy of it all, and the soul, I think.
How long were you in New Orleans?
Well, I was there as a baby, and when I was a toddler, and then my father was in the military, so he got stationed up here, and we always go home to New Orleans, but that's my first home.
What's the difference in feel from being up here and then going back and visiting?
Well, up here, I would definitely say in comparison, the hospitality.
Okay.
There's a lot more hospitality down there than it is up here. But as far as the art scene, when you go down to the French Quarters, for example, there's all these different artists that are set up in the quarters in Jackson Square, and they sell their art. And I think as a kid, just seeing that inspired me to want to, sell art. I'm like, oh, I can do that. So,
have you done a show down in New Orleans?
I haven't, but I'm looking forward to doing next year's Essence.
Okay.
Painting live there and being a vendor as well.
You're with Raw, right?
Yes. I've done Raw before. I've done 3 shows with them.
Oh, okay. Have you tried to get down there through Raw?
In New Orleans? No. I don't think they've ever had it in New Orleans. I know they've had it in LA. They have one in Atlanta, New York, Texas, Houston, Texas. But New Orleans, they've never had a show down there.
Because I remember that was like that's their pull, like you can do a show anywhere. So
yeah,
I was wondering, because I think a lot of people take advantage of that.
Yeah, they do. The one thing that I found difficult for me, and I'm not saying that I can't do it, but because I'm a visual artist, I'm thinking, well, how am I gonna, take all my stuff and get it to that, destination? Now, Philly is close. New York is close. I can always drive there. But I've always wanted to go to LA and do a show.
I had an idea for doing an LA show, but I just didn't have the money to put it. I would literally go out there for about 2 weeks before the actual show.
That's a good idea.
And then if I had space, just to create a few pieces that I would actually display out there.
That is a good idea. I thought about that too.
The only problem with that is if you don't sell anything, then what do you do with it?
You keep it there. Well, good thing I have family that lives in LA, so I'll be like, hey, just keep my art. So,
you want to give an introduction to Tina B?
Hello.
We interviewed, how many months? Was like 2 months ago?
Yeah, like a couple months ago.
So how's everything? How's everything been?
Everything is everything. I'm so nervous.
Why?
I was not supposed to be here.
Hey, sometimes you just end up in places.
But, yeah, so, hello.
Oh, let them know what's going on, so the viewers and the listeners can check it out.
Okay, so Sticky Bun Festival, September the 9th, 2017, from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. And the lineup we have as far as entertainment is chiffon, we have A1 chops, we have poets. So we have, I'm sorry, I'm reading because I don't remember it off top. There's so many people.
Get it right.
Huh?
I said make sure you get it right.
I know, right? Alright, so we have Jarrell, we have Duke the Rude, we have Maya, shout out to Maya, we have Black Chakra. As far as artists, we have Julian, we have Benjamin, Donald, McNeely, we have you, we have So Fresh, we have Sideline Images, Peter Smith. It's gonna be lit. We have the actual sticky buns brought to you by Wisdom Cakes. We have the Urban Oyster, so there'll be oysters there. Shout out to Chef OG. He's going to be on the grill with all types of deliciousness. So make sure you come out because it's a free event and it's lit.
If you're free, what is it, 9th? September 9th?
September 9th.
What was the time again?
From 4 p.m. to 8 p.m.
If you're free, you should come out and check it out.
Okay. You should. It's going to be a crazy event.
Why Not Lot?
Why Not
Lot, right?
Yep. Located at the Why Not Lot.
On North Ave in Charles?
4 West North Avenue, so it's North and Charles Street.
So it's down here.
Yep. Oh, yeah, we have, the food trucks. I forgot all about Sharif's. We'll be there. Definitely. It's going to be a lot.
Okay, awesome.
For anybody that want to call in and support the artists, ask questions, the number is 410-702-5657. So as we get back into Kimeko, with being an influence with the New Orleans, I guess, flow, swag, if you whatever you want to call it, influence in your artwork, I think you get into the beginning story of like, why do you feel artwork is the calling and why have you gotten into it?
I think the reason I got into it, well, again, it goes back to my childhood. You know, I used to sit in my room just drawing, you know, and I always thought that I could be creative that way and express myself. I was never good at, mathematics and English, those were struggles for me, but art and being creative and, thinking outside the box sometimes came as first nature to me. So I just enjoy doing it. It helps me relax. It's something that I'm amazed at every time I look at one of my pieces and how far I've come, actually.
Right.
To where, when I first started painting, again, actually, I want to say back in 2007, to now, where I just see my progress and just have to look back and like, wow, look at God, because without him, I couldn't do any of this stuff. So I definitely look at it, and it's just something for me to be creative. I've always wanted to be creative in the arts, whether it's photography, painting, drawing, even modeling, all of those stuff. So
is it do you ever felt like expressing yourself through like writing? Or is it just
actually. It's funny that you say that. I have like several journals of just writing, and one of these days I'm going to actually put the book together. But yeah, for a couple of years I've been writing poetry and stuff that reflects about my life and art. So I definitely want to put that together.
So is it what's the difference from, because I've expressed myself through writing and through visual work, What's the difference? Do you feel like one is more your thing than the other? Like, do you feel like your message gets across as a better way, or is it even the same message?
I mean, for me, I think for me to make my point or get my point across to the viewer or the listener or whoever, it's my art, painting. And I could write something, but for me, I don't think that like I can express myself as well as I can with painting something.
See, I feel like writing wise, I could just say more. You know, like I can kind of explain it more. Well, actually, I'd rather talk when expressing myself more so than writing. But I feel like writing captures, you can do a lot more with writing than what you can do with a visual, for me personally. Okay. That's how I kind of feel about it. So, like, what are you expressing creatively? What is your expression? Like, is it like a moment to moment thing? Like, I'm just expressing myself in this moment, or is it more so a deeper meaning or something that you're attached to in your life?
It all depends on the actual piece that I'm working on, first off. When I've done abstract paintings, oh my goodness, that's so many emotions put into that, and just, you know, how I'm feeling in that moment, or things that I went through, and just put it on the canvas. Okay. If it's something that's, you know, dealing with society or Black Lives Matters or any of those topics that's going on, it's straight to the point. You know, I don't really have to explain what I'm painting, but something more abstract, I have to explain, yeah, I was going through a separation at this time, or, you know, I was having hard times with, I don't know, college, or, you know, whatever I'm dealing with at that moment, you know, I express it through my art. So,
is that how you feel, Tina?
I'm sorry?
Like your moments of creating? Yo, they're zoned out. What's going on? You alright?
Can you repeat the question?
I mean, as in writing, and do you write?
I do write. I write whenever, however, like, I think music triggers just anything. Like, if I listen to a lot of instrumentals a lot, so like sometimes like I can't freestyle, but like I'll try. But I'm really good at writing stuff. I have a lot of poems that I've written that I just tucked away. I do plan on making like a little mini poetry book, but that's like later. So I'm just like adding to it.
I feel you. Anybody want to call in? It's 410-702-5657. Headed to a break. When we get back, we're just getting deeper into the topics of art, and hopefully the other guests show up.
Check out what you missed on Be Exposed Radio.
Listen to Elizabeth Warren talking about Black lives and Black life.
Police are not occupying armies. This is America, not a war zone. I speak today with full knowledge that I have not personally experienced and can never truly understand the fear, the oppression, and the pain that confronts African Americans every day.
Don't you just want to kill yourself? I mean, not from what she was saying, but from the music that was playing in the background. I just want to, oh gosh, but every word she said was prolific, and it did not come from what is now becoming mainstream as white privilege. She has a sensibility about her, and the way she speaks about different things that has, from the first time I saw her, I can't remember what state she's in. I think she's in like North Carolina or something like that, somewhere I'm not going. That some kind of sensibility about her that makes me like her for president. But she's not running. We have this old guy that looks like he should be on the popcorn box. Then we have Martin O'Malley. Fine. We'll settle if we must. Hillary, who I like, but she just has to fight against all this controversy, and that's the hard part of it all. Then we have Huckabee. I could have swore he died, like in one of those books, like a fairy tale book. Trump. We're going to get to you in a moment. Meet with all these black folk in one room, and they just fell for it. Like, he must have been giving out $100 bills behind it.
Check out the Talk Lately show every Tuesday nights from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. right here on BeExposedRadio.com.
Ladies, are you in need of the best quality hair extensions, a cute outfit, or that perfect pair of shades? Pink Ice products can cover you from head to toe, from flawless weaves to apparel. Visit us online at pinkiceproducts.bigcartel.com. We're located at 3000 Old Alabama Road, 119-303, Alpharetta, Georgia. Or give us a call at 470-488-6484. Come on in and check out Pink Ice products today.
Check out what you missed on Be Exposed Radio.
So now we are in reactive mode. You know, with our young people, we don't spend enough time working with them, preparing them, inspiring them, mentoring them. And so now we're faced with a generation that's like, I'm going to do my own thing. Right. I have no respect for you. Because what have we done to help them except to say that, like I was telling the HL7, that, you know, I get highly upset when adults forget that they were ever young. And the first thing they say is young people are up to no good. You know, well, you're not helping them. What are you doing to inspire them? Right. So to me, that's reactive because now...
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Welcome back. Artist Exchange Radio, ArtistVizion.com. TJ TranceVizion Bates is your host, guest host.
Oh, not guest host, but co-host. Sweet baby.
Oh,
Zakiya.
Yeah.
Full time next month, but you heard me last week. You hear me this week, and you'll be hearing me from now on. Yes, thank you.
Oh.
Yes, and we have with us. Our guest. I'm sorry, you tell me your name again.
Kimeko.
Kimeko. I just walked in, and Miss Tina B, who is the founder of our organization, Appreciate the Arts, of which I'm a co-founder, Sticky Bun Festival, 9917 at the Why Not Lot.
Which is also happening because Nate is hosting, and it's the 3rd year anniversary of the Artist Exchange.
And Trance is our sponsor.
Yes.
Don't neglect us.
Yes.
I'm not.
So y'all fill me in. I'm just walking in on the show. What's been going on?
Pretty much just introduction to Kimeko. She's from the DC area.
Right.
And we were just getting into like how she got into art. And I think do you have any initial questions that you might want to ask? Just like off of just break?
Well, I was running it like I heard something. What exactly like is your art and what is your inspiration? Like what got you started? I don't know what was asked or anything, so I don't know if I'm going back over the same questions.
The art that I do is, I would say, a mix between abstract and realism. I don't know if that even exists, but it does for me. Because, like, I'm not, like, completely realism, and I'm not completely abstract. But I think I combine the two together.
That sounds like a fantastic, like, I would like to see some of your work, because that sounds like a great medium. It's always good to tap into a place where that's been uncharted. So that's cool. Okay.
What is that called? Is that pop surrealism?
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, I was. Yeah, I would say that.
I think that's the crazy aspect, because when I did the competition, I was like pop art. Somebody just like came out of nowhere, like, yo, they're not even pop art, and I'm just like, yo, who are you? Get off.
I think I would compare myself, like, a lot of people ask, who did you look up to? Basquiat, definitely. Picasso.
Mm-hmm.
And then I love Jackson.
Pollock?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, I pull from those different artists.
What medium do you use? You use oil paint, acrylic?
Acrylic. I do know how to use oil, but I haven't used oil in quite some time. The only reason I don't use oil is because it just takes longer to dry. And a lot of times, most recently, all of my art has been like, I got to get it done quick. So learning to do acrylic is much easier.
Okay. Canvas only, or do you paint on other
I've
things?
painted on wood.
Okay.
I've painted murals.
Oh, nice.
So walls, homes, buildings. What else? I've painted on clothes. I haven't done clothes as much, but I have. I'm always experimenting.
What is your experience with murals? Because I'm everybody always tell me I should do murals, but it's just like I want to know the experience that you had.
Oh
with it.
man, my experience with murals. It was so much fun because it's like you've got this humongous canvas, and for me, it was I had to, stay in those lines of, the person wanted this, so I had to make sure that I stayed consistent with that. But the fact that I could draw on this person's wall in their home, and it was just fun. I could go to town and not feel confined.
Would you ever want to do like your own personal mural on somebody's side of their wall?
Yes, that is my dream, to be able to have a wall, just me, and do the whole wall. I mean, of course, I would need help, because that's a lot. But to say that that's my art on the side of, like Ben's Chili Bowl, that would be so cool to have my art on the side of a building somewhere in the city, where everyone can see it.
What type of paint did y'all use
for the murals?
Yeah.
The paint that I used for those particular murals was it's only for plaster.
Okay.
The side of different what do I want to call it? What do you have on the walls in homes? It's like plaster, right?
Yeah, plaster or drywall.
Drywall. Yes.
Okay.
So they have that type of paint in like Home Depot, or they have it in Michael's too.
Okay.
That you would use. So
cool.
Yep.
Artist Exchange, ArtistVizion.com. Call in, show some support for the artist. It's 410-702-5657.
Ask some questions, y'all.
Yeah.
The Artist Exchange Radio Show every Friday 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. every Saturday 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. Real artist, real talk, real live on BeExposedRadio.com. As busy as you are, because they're good at itemizing their time, and they actually have a passion for what they do. One of the biggest lessons that I learned, I get to say this on Weird, was finding people who are not only interested in doing what you need to get done, but people who have a passion for it, because that will eliminate the idea of people just working for a paycheck. Right. Because when people sign up for a paycheck, we all had jobs where we slacked off, where we stole away in a little storage room.
Fell asleep.
Thank you.
I saw a meme the other day that had Bart Simpson and the little boy with the glasses. I didn't watch the show, so don't be mad at me. Don't send me no daggum messages. The little boy with the glass, Millhouse, that was his name. He's showing him a cave, and it says, when you're asked to show around the new coworker, and it says, this is where I come to cry. Cool. Thank you for tuning in to BeExposedRadio.com. Sit back, relax, and listen to this flashback of the Artist Exchange Radio Show.
Football, you basically have a good 10 to 12 years, and that's what it is.
Well, you have a lot of people retiring early. It's funny, a lot of me and my alumni from UVA, where I graduated from, one of our fellow Wahoos, he retired yesterday, 32 years old. To Shaw Ferguson, and he's been in the league like 10 or 12 years. So like you said, a lot of guys are making that change on their own now because they're seeing a lot of things from the the concussion movement,
right?
Stuff that's been happening. Is not the noun, it's the effects later, because you see different stories of men are in like their 50s and some are committing suicide because of the banging and the voices or the concussions. And
did you see that?
I haven't got a chance to see it. But
not the movie, but did you see those effects?
I have seen concussions in college where guys have played that whole entire game and didn't realize they was at a football game.
Wow.
But like before the big emphasis came about the whole concussions and what's going on, we was taught you just run to the wall. You can't be soft. You shake it off and get back in it. So
the wrong attitude to have.
Right.
It's really internal. Like you really doing damage, not just to your bones,
right,
but to your mind.
Everything.
Right.
And later on down the line, because there's like.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Welcome back, BeExposedRadio.com, Artist Exchange. TJ TranceVizion Bates is your guest host. ArtistVizion.com, check it out. Co-host today.
Co-host Sweet Baby. Hey.
This is the second time I done did the radio, or third time.
Second time
we did Cool Kids.
We did. This is our third time actually, because you had us on. No, you had Tina on your show, and I just kind of like was sitting in on that one. So yeah,
I see you making your moves. I see you.
You see me though. You see me. Hey.
Today's guest we have Kimeko. She's a visual artist. We also have Tina B sitting in.
Whoa.
So
Kimeko, I'm looking at. I want to get back to the murals because I'm also looking at your stuff on Facebook, and I have questions about that too. But the murals, what would you say like the difference is between large scale painting versus the smaller scale, and which do you prefer? Like, would you want to do more murals? Would you go to strictly that if commissioned? And what are the pros and cons between each one and the tools that you use for large scale versus small scale?
Okay, for large scale, most likely you're going to have to get bigger containers of paint, which is a lot more expensive. As far as the tools that you need to paint, you would have to get rollers and bigger paint brushes, or even spray paint. It depends on the type of painting that you're doing. And that's cost, that costs a lot of money. So a lot of times artists get commissioned to do these pieces because they're so expensive. I know with LW, the last few murals that we worked on were, commissioned. So the county or whoever was paying him to go out and buy the supplies, and then paying him for his, his labor and service. Whereas small, doing your own personal, depends on if you're working with a canvas or a wood piece, it's not as much. You're looking at maybe $100, $200. If you're doing a really, really big canvas, for example, I'm trying to think, 50 by 40 or something, you definitely want to get bigger, not the small little containers of paint, and you got to get bigger containers and bigger brushes. So takes more time.
Is it like, when you buy buckets of paint to paint your walls in your house, is it that same type of deal?
It is.
Okay.
It is. As far as like the paint that you use to paint in your house is the type of paint that you would use to paint murals. Yeah.
Okay.
So it depends on the colors. And a lot of times I've talked to different artists and they say, oh, I just go and get the, you know, for my own personal, I'll go out and get the little containers, you know, the sample.
Right.
The sample containers that you can go out and get them and see if this is the colors you want on your wall. Well, a lot of artists that I've talked to in the past, they'll go out and get those instead of getting the little tubes or the little containers about this size in Michael's or any other art store that they have. So
okay. How in painting, like, how did you get started? Did you get started young? Did you get started later in life? And what was it that sparked your, like, was it something that sparked your interest in painting, or is it just like a natural gift that you've always had?
Like I was telling, how do I say, trans?
You can call me TJ.
TJ. What I was telling him earlier is that I've been, you know, drawing since I was a kid.
Right.
But I would say in college, well, actually, I'm going to take it back. When I was in high school, I found that I was like, okay, I can do this. This is what I really want to go into is art. Just because my teacher at the time really inspired me to want to do the art, and I thought I was really good at it. I'm like, oh wow, this is cool. I can create this. So, yeah. What was the rest of your question?
Was it like that? Was it something? Yeah, you pretty much answered it.
Was okay.
So, did you go to school for art, like college?
When I went to school, I was actually undecided for a while. I ended up getting a degree in graphic design, believe it or not. And I do that sometimes on the side, but I haven't lately. But yeah, I found that taking different art classes, the painting class, helped me to understand how to paint.
Right.
And then later, when I took it back up again, you know, those things that I was taught just came back to surface. I was like, oh yeah, that's right. I need to do this, and you use this color to mix with that color, or blend. You know, you want to make it look round or real, or you know. So, and as I've gone along, you know, I just pick up different things just by talking to other artists or looking at, you know, artists that have gone before us, you know, and their style, and yeah.
And my question for a lot of artists is, I get the creative as a young person, and you get into artwork. Like, at what point do you transition that into a business, or do you like take it where you can actually sell your work?
I mean, that's a good question. Wow.
Like for you personally, like when did that switch for you?
For me, realizing that I can make money. I think I'm just like, oh, well, let me like sit back here and figure out how I can, you know, profit from painting, and not just painting for myself, basically. Right. How do I produce more of just one painting? How can I, you know, promote myself? You know, how can I turn my paintings and myself into a brand?
Right.
So
did you come across anybody that influenced you for that? Because I think what goes on now with artists and branding is kind of different than like Basquiat back in that day. So like, is there anybody in like the newer age that a model that you've seen and was like, oh, that's kind of like how we're maneuvering in the business now?
There's a couple people, but the first person that comes to mind actually is a family. He's married to my cousin's sister, and his name is Michael Savoy. Just watching how he had been painting for years, but he ran into the right people and was able to get his art on Empire.
Oh.
Yeah, and so he's like really inspired me and just given me words of wisdom and encouragement in how to promote myself and get myself out there and brand yourself. Another thing is I've talked to like Damonn Pender. He's known as Damonn Picasso around the area. and you just, you know, you want to get out there, talk to people, paint in different places. He's one of the persons that encouraged me to paint live on stage with my brother, because my brother is an artist, a hip-hop artist, and so he was just like, yeah, just go out and paint live, you know, put your music in your ear if that makes you nervous, and just go out there and do your thing. So just a couple people that have just really encouraged me to do that, and then show me, you know, little things or little tips on how I can better promote who I am and what my art's about, and how to mass produce my art. So
do you, like, for branding purposes, do you think like a style helps that a little bit better, or is, like, you know, you have some artists that just kind of like, they're mercenaries, they do it all, as to where some artists kind of stick to their own little style that they have because that's kind of what they're known for. Like, for you personally, is like your own little style, or are you just like embracing everything that comes when it be like a creative and techniques?
Yeah, you know, for me, I think I'm starting to see that I have a certain style. The colors that I use, and the motion of the brush that I use, compared to if I look at stuff that Picasso does. I keep calling him Picasso, Damonn. Damonn, how he does his art, I can see the difference. And then, like, I don't know, I feel that I don't want to define myself as just, this is the way, this is Kimeko's art. But I've always wanted to be like, well, I want to do this and I want to do that. Why do I have to be like in this little box and that's it? Because if I see like an abstract piece that like really inspires me, I'm just like, oh, you know, I want to do an abstract piece. Why does it have to be a person? You know, I do people, but I also like to just blow, you know, or throw paint on the wall or something, you know what I mean? Just express myself that way. So
I don't know, I feel like when people have a style, they get really attached to it, and they become attached to it to the point that they kind of get blindsided with the thought that they are the one person that does this.
Right.
And I think that's like the pitfall of having a style.
That's true.
Because then somebody can come along, see the technique that you use, and then recreate. But it's going to be different. But you can tell where it came from. But if they don't know who they got it from, then to them, it's that. As to where if you're just like out here doing everything, you can satisfy and get a lot of different customers that way.
Right.
Like I don't draw people at all, and people always ask me like, "Oh, do you draw people?" And I'm just like, "Dang, well, I can send you to somebody that do it, but I can't do it myself. Or I don't have the patience to do it."
Yeah, it definitely takes work, I would say.
I don't have patience. I don't have patience at all. Do you have patience when creating?
If I'm really into it, I don't know if you guys saw this one piece I did. Her name was well, she went by, what did she go by? Well, her real name is Alex, and she was a hip-hop lyricist in the D.C. area. She passed away in March in a car accident, and I grew up with her brothers, basically. And I wanted to do a piece for them, you know, just, that's like my family, you know. So that I did, like, in one night. And I just went in there thinking, God, just give me the wisdom and the tools that I need to just do it and complete it. And it came out great. Like, it looked really like her and they loved it. So as far as patience, I think once I get into it, I lose track of time. If I get frustrated, I'm just like, I can do it, I can do it, I can do it, and just keep pushing myself to get it done.
So would you say that painting is more of a cathartic thing for you? Because I paint jewelry, and I'm like TJ, like I'm like, I want to hurry up and get this done. I don't feel like I'm like blowing on it,
right?
So because it's not like I don't go to it I usually go to it when I'm annoyed with something. So I guess that's a way, sort of a catharticism in it. But for you, like, is it a cathartic thing for you to do your artwork?
I don't. I mean, I think it is, but then again, like I say, it just, it's like a calm over me. It's like I go into this like another world, and I'm just at peace, you know. So I don't feel like I gotta hurry up, I gotta do it. Well, I do take that back. Like sometimes I'm like, okay, I need to have this done tomorrow. I want to have it done, but I will not go to sleep until it is done. In my eyes, you know what I mean? And then I'll go back, like, okay, for example, when I did I'll Be Sure a couple weeks ago, right? I was like, oh, the Lord was like, oh, just do this piece. I'm like, okay, I'll do it. And I was working. So, and I work from home, by the way. So I go and I'm drawing it out, sketching it out and everything, and I start painting it, and it's just not coming out the way I want it to. So I was like, I'm not gonna have time because I gotta go there tonight, and I'm not gonna have time. It's already 2 o'clock. I need to leave at 5, and then I just like, forget it. And then, you know, the Lord was like, do it again. So I went back in there. I started a whole new painting. Scratched that other one, whole new painting, and did it in like an hour.
Oh wow!
And it looked more like him than the one that I had done before, and I was like, oh, this is so much better, you know. But I feel like when it comes to the art, I you know, and being creative, I can't like put it down. Like I'll go away from it and I'll be like, nah, I gotta go back and I have to finish it. I can't give up. So even when I do get discouraged, I'm like, nah, you gotta go back in there and finish it.
That's a fantastic mindset.
Yeah. I wish I had it. When drawing people, sometimes I see. I guess the challenge of drawing people in realism is to have them look like the person. Do you ever have like find yourself, like you just said, like you redid a painting? Like, do you ever find yourself doing a piece and just like, oh, this doesn't even look like them?
Oh yeah, I think I've gotten better, but like in the past I've done a couple faces and I'm like, oh no, this is not looking like the person at all. So, but I just keep trying, you know.
Right.
So.
I don't know. I've seen some that's just like, But we on Artist Exchange Radio, BeExposedRadio.com, ArtistVizion.com. Call in or comment on a post on Facebook Live. It's 410-702-5657. And when we get back, we'll get more into the group you're a part of.
Man, it is what it is. Man, it is what it is. Well, it is what it is.
This fly T Miles, also known as Tyree Miles, and Mr. Miles the writer.
Hip Hop K. Check us out every Friday on Be Exposed Radio at 9/11.
Coming to y'all soon.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Hey everybody, check out what you missed on the one and only Be Inspired radio show. Now here's one little speech I'm going to give you before I get into the next article. Here's what I want to tell you. Still, fear is big business. Fear is big business. I'm not telling you not to be alarmed by what you're seeing. I'm not telling you not to be concerned. What I'm saying is not to buy into the notion that we should be afraid. You should be informed. You should be aware. You should start educating yourself about some things. I don't have the solutions. I don't have the answer. I wish I could say that if you did X, Y, and Z, you might not get shot by the police. I wish I could tell you that, but I can't. But what I can say is just start making yourself aware of what's going on. but don't be so consumed by what you're seeing that you become afraid, that you don't want to go out. Or you become numb. That's a good point, Nate. Nate said, or you become numb to it, like you just don't care. So we need you to just continue to be in touch with what's going on, but educate your family, talk to your sons, talk to your daughters, because it's not just limited to men. We know from Sandra Bland, she was a young woman who was killed. And we don't want to say, we don't know all the details of what happened. No, the fact is that person's life still matters. They still have rights. They should not just be killed dead before they even get a trial. Okay, that's the point. They deserve a trial at least, but they can't even make it to the jail cell to get a trial, to be tried. They're being killed even before arrest. Terrible. So that's my soapbox.
Tune in to Be Inspired every Wednesday live at 7 p.m. right here on Be Exposed Radio.
Talk lately.
Government. I don't understand why. Look, me, and I haven't said anything either. This is my moment. Where this American Healthcare Act is. Oh, you all right? Ooh, I sneeze and a cough. How'd that work out? That sounds real difficult. Like, damn, sneezing is like you skipping a heartbeat. A cough is like you bringing up a lung. So it was like a sneeze and a cough. So you was dying twice. Because you was coughing, I was like, you okay? Achoo! What? How you fit that in there? So, now back to the American Healthcare Act, because you're going to need that to get the cough and the sneeze together.
Live every Tuesday at 7 p.m. only on BeExposedRadio.com.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Welcome back. Artist Exchange, BeExposedRadio.com. I'm your host, TJ TranceVizion Bates. Check out ArtistVision.com with co-host
Sweet Baby, hey.
And we have two guests. And the other guests just came in. Hey, what's up? We have three artist guests. Tina B.
Hello.
Check out the Sticky Bun Festival September 9th. As also, Artist Exchange is hosting the Sticky Bun Festival for the 3rd year anniversary of Artist Exchange. So it's on Why Not Lot, North and Charles.
Yes. 4 to 8.
4 to 8. So be sure to come check that out.
Presented by Appreciate the Arts. I'm sorry.
You feel me, girl? Plug that in. I was trying to figure out how I was going to slide it in there, but thank you.
Appreciate the Arts.
Sponsored by
TranceVision.
Okay.
But
hosted by Nate.
Hosted by Nate. So definitely go out and check that out. It'll be a great event. It's free, so just come out, check out some art. Musical acts, poetry, a lot of local artists,
vendors, food,
actual
sticky buns.
It's free.
But the food not free.
The food is not free.
Food not free.
The event is free. Bring money.
Yes.
But still come out and enjoy your
and
food.
support these artists.
Yes.
And the other visual artists we've been talking to Kimeko.
Yes. Hey.
Another visual artist we had scheduled for today just stepped in. It's the man.
Hey, how y'all doing?
Hello.
Antonio, just introduce yourself, what you do, and what you got going on.
Oh, okay. I'm Antonio Moore Art LLC. I do canvas paintings, portraits, sip and paint parties, all that good stuff. Everything art, custom shirts. Been in the game for a minute, but evolve with every phase of it, from airbrushing shirts to hand painting shirts, now to canvases, paint parties. Why it sounds so slow? It's like a delay.
It's the earphones. I would suggest if you don't wear them unless we get a caller, because it's going to sound crazy to you.
Okay.
I like to.
I don't think my earphones are working because I don't hear any like feedback.
I sound too slow. I ain't like that.
Sipping on that lean like Tariq. But Antonio is one of those hustlers, art hustlers. Like, I've seen him get paintings to a lot of people. I feel like young up and coming artists, whatever route you want to go, you need that hustle. You need that hustle to build the brand.
Yeah.
It's very
about
inspiring.
my morning, it'd be crazy.
Hey,
that's why I'm late.
Hey.
I started 3 Migos paintings, 2 custom shirts, and I sketched out what I'm a live painting I'm about to do in DC when I leave here. So
hey,
that's just my morning.
I seen the itinerary.
Yeah.
Antonio Moore, where he's at. We were just talking about live paintings, because I know you do live paintings. Kimeko does live paintings.
We met at a live
painting
together in DC.
That's how we met.
About a month ago.
Now I see a lot of people is in DC. Now, what's the difference? What's the difference between the markets? Because I feel like DC, a lot of people is traveling down DC to get the show, like to do shows.
Right.
Is it a different reception when it comes to artwork?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's definitely a different reception. It depends on the market you're in. I mean, that's what anywhere. Baltimore has a market. You just have to be in the right places. Like last night, I was at Club Sangria on a Friday, and that's more your upscale, professional Baltimore people. That's not your regular 21, 25 and older. So even last night, I met a lawyer, IP lawyer who does trademarks, and I met like 2 guys who run their own nonprofits who want to work with me as far as teaching and like donating art and raising money with art. So money's in Baltimore, you just have to find it. But DC, I find it's more diverse.
Right.
More diverse, and of course, people, per household, people are making more, so people are spending more on everything down there. A burger in Baltimore is $4, it's $8 in DC for a reason. So.
Yeah.
See, that's how you look at it. It's the game. That's how you look at it.
Yeah.
For how about you, Kimeko? How is your view on it? From Baltimore?
I would agree with Antonio. I have not done any live paintings in Baltimore, so I don't know. I cannot compare. I've only done Maryland and DC, and yeah, Maryland for me I think is a lot slower. To be honest with you, it's a lot slower. And I've done live paintings in DC, and everybody's just like, oh my gosh, I gotta have it. How do I get a hold of you? And like in your face. And it also depends on like you said, what type of event you're doing as well. Yeah. So hopefully I'll have more opportunities to do live events in a more upscale environment.
I've actually live painted in New York as well. I live painted in Dallas. I live painted in a few states.
Yeah.
And DC is definitely one of the more welcoming cities to painting and live art.
Right.
Where people are more, like you said, they gravitate and they like, wow, that wow factor.
Yeah.
Is more in DC. Like, I need that right now. I mean, like I said, I did Jazzy Summer Nights last month. I live paint on stage with the Wild Live Band. Shout out to them.
Oh yeah, I saw it.
Yeah, I live paint on stage, and that was love. It was about 5,000 people there, and I raffled it off, which probably was a mistake because people was actually just trying to buy it. They're like, I don't want a ticket, I want to buy it.
Yeah.
So there's money around. You just gotta find the right people in Baltimore. But DC is just everybody. It's just average person making more.
My one experience with DC was through Raw at Howard Theater, and the crowd compared to Baltimore was just like.
I'm doing Raw again the 23rd of this month.
Oh really?
You like Raw?
I did my first Raw in February. I sold one Obama original for $600 and plus others. So I did good my first show.
Look at that.
Yeah.
So
I did good my first show. I think the second one was okay, but the third one, it was just, I think the people that were running it made it was not a great experience for me. I was just like,
I'm starting my own.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just like, why do I have to keep? I don't want to. I mean, I could go through Raw to do it like in LA. I was telling TJ that I want to do in LA, but the only thing is
we can
the art and bringing it over there.
When we come back, we can go into.
Okay.
I don't necessarily want to talk about Raw, but Artist Exchange Radio, but when we going into it, like your experience, call in 410-702-5657. Come on, show some support to the artists.
Hey everybody, it's Monty, the executive producer here at BeExposedRadio.com, and I'm here to talk about my show. I know, how selfish, right? Talk Lately with me, Monty, every Tuesday at 7 p.m. So what do we talk about on this show? I can tell you this, there has never been a show that I have gotten completely through the full agenda because our topics, our conversations are just that damn good. I cover politics, gossip, entertainment, and hey, I love a good panel discussion. Hey, get a group of people in here and let us debate it out. That is the best thing in the world. Not to mention I take calls and texts, and I'll debate with you too. So why don't you get involved and be heard? What's that old adage? Closed mouths don't get fed. That says it all. So join me every Tuesday at 7 p.m. right here on BeExposedRadio.com. Call me at 410-702-5657. You can text at 443-642-9403. And don't forget to be heard and vote in our weekly poll right on the website. Check it out.
Thank you for tuning in to BeExposedRadio.com. Sit back, relax, and listen to this flashback of the Artist Exchange Radio Show.
What does hustle hard mean to you? What does that signify in your life?
That's a lifestyle for me. You know what I mean? Like, true story, I was born into a family and a community of hustlers. Now, let's get focused right quick, because when people hear the word hustler, they confuse it with con artist or something negative. So they like to call people entrepreneurs, right? But the definition, and I'm paraphrasing, but the definition of hustle is forced movement or to be hurried, right? But we're not talking about just pushing other people. Sometimes you got to push yourself, and that what makes you a hustler. True story. So the thing about it is, like, when it comes to hustling, listen, quick story. I used to go buy juleps a lot, right? And my grandmother used to make me clean the yard, shovel snow, do things like that to go get a julep. But one day she was like, look, you putting all your money in someone else's pocket. Word. Save those quarters, and I can teach you how to make a formula, and you can sell your own juleps. You understand? So the next couple weeks, I saved my money.
Always a hustler.
Listen,
got to love
but think
everybody
about
got
this.
a grandma story like that.
Grandmothers are the natural hustlers because they were the ones who maintained and sustained our families through epidemics. You're talking Big Mama went through slavery and held it. You're talking Big Mama went through the Depression and held it. Big Mama went through crack and held it and still maintains it today. So if you don't think you come from a hustler, then you don't know where you come from. You understand?
That's so real.
I began to sell juleps, and ever since then, I capture a hustle. And a hustle is not a swindle. It's not a sneaky thing. It's up front. You're providing a need. You understand? So you're the bridge. If you're a true hustler, you're trying to be the bridge. If somebody's on one side and they need to get the other, you're trying to be the bridge, fill in the gap. So hustling is a lifestyle. It's not something you can do 10 minutes out the day. It has to be something you live.
Word.
Hey, what's up? This is Nate, host of the Artist Exchange Radio Show. Tune in every Friday, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. and every Saturday, 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. Real artist, real talk, real live, here live on BeExposedRadio.com.
Be Exposed Radio.
Definitely not taking responsibility for other people's emotions and things that's going on, and owning up to who you are. I know that's what you were finishing on, so you can speak more on that, sister.
Yeah, just making sure, because at the end of the day, what happens to us, especially women, we're nurturers. So by life, we tend to want to, I call men projects, like fix-me-uppers, people that come with issues. And for some reason, people, we all have issues, but people who want you to help them through their issues, So we take on projects because we get to the point to where we're like, okay, I just want to have somebody, as opposed to the quality of the person that you're getting.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Take a picture of it, at least for myself, and then keep.
Yeah,
Not
I think
the original.
I'm
I'll
about to
keep
give
them
them
the
my kids
original.
or something. Yeah, I think I might start. At least like athletes.
Hey. Welcome back, Artist Exchange, BeExposedRadio.com. I'm your host, TJ TranceVizion Bates. Check out artistvision.com. Make sure you call Lynn. Support the artist at 410-702-5657. And my co-host.
I'm your co-host, Sweet Baby.
Okay. And we're dropping it again. Sticky Bun Festival. September
the 9th.
Presented by
Appreciate the
Arts. Tina B.
Boss Lady Beans, y'all. She the founder of Appreciate the Arts. Don't sleep on her. Sticky Bun Festival, September 9th, 2017, from 4 to 8. Why not lie? It's also the 3rd anniversary of the Artist Exchange, and Nate will be hosting our event, and it'll be like a little collaboration for us. And come out and enjoy yourselves at the Sticky Bun Festival. It's a free festival.
You mind if I shout out some of the artists?
Please do.
Okay, so we're gonna have Trance, Nisi, Sideline Images, Peter Smith, Julian, Janae, Benjamin. Shout out to OG the Chef, the Urban Oyster, Sticky Buns brought to you by Wisdom Cake, DJ, Graffiti Tech. We got Chiffon headlining. It's going to be a litty atmosphere, so make sure you come out. It's a free event, but bring money because the food not free. You feel me?
I forgot what that one lady was. That had the lemon. She had she got a daughter that does lemons.
Yes, they will be there. Lemontopia. Lemontopia. I forgot all about them. I didn't even have this in
shout out to Lemontopia.
Yeah, shout out to them. And the little girl. She's too cute.
Also, today we got 2 guests in here. Visual artists, Kimeko.
Hey.
And Antonio Moore.
What's up, world?
They're kind of like in a similar lane, especially with dealing with certain things, as in like raw or have you done pancakes and booze?
I have not. I heard that it's a really good.
I recommended it to you.
Yeah, you did.
Yes, I just did DC last week.
I'll have to do it next year.
It's a lot
of back in about 3 months.
Oh, okay.
So what is? I never heard of pancakes and booze.
Pancakes and booze. The concept is, I guess, to get. They have a spot in DC. It's Penn Social. They had. I don't know if they do it in Baltimore, but I did one in Baltimore a while ago. They did Creative Alliance. I don't think it wasn't really put together well, but the Penn Social one is pretty much, if you're an artist from up here or anything, you want to go down there. I think they charge you per piece that you put up.
They're worldwide. They started in San Francisco. Yeah. I've done 5 in DC, 5 in New York, and I'm doing Philly in September. So, and I plan on doing like Atlanta and some of their other shows, but they even go to Canada. But yeah, you like you said, you register, and then once you get there, you pay $15 per piece. They have grid walls set up. It's free pancakes all night, DJ. It's a good atmosphere. It's less pressure than Raw. You don't have to have the pressure of selling 20 tickets at $22. You just come there if you want to display 3 pieces, $45. Keep what you make. Yeah. So less pressure.
And I've met a lot of artists, or I've seen a lot of artists do pancakes and booze. Like you pretty much get around, like you see a lot of different.
New York, I did good. I did so good. I left like early. Like I sold almost all my paintings and rolled out.
Oh wow!
Was this supposed to be this way?
I'm not sure.
Because it was that way, but it turned back this way. Don't touch it.
So with bro, like pancakes and booze. What's another one?
There's another one that just hit me up called Spaces or something like that. They out of Dallas, but they coming to DC in a couple of weeks.
Oh, okay.
They must not be real popular because I haven't heard of them.
Oh.
And y'all have experience with dealing with celebrities and paintings. Just pretty much, what is your experience with it? Like, how do you see it? And because I think a lot of artists would like to get their work to celebrities, but just your experience with it, and how do you feel about it, and are you going to continue down that route of building your brand, because that's synonymous with your brand when people see you with famous people.
Yeah, I agree. Do you want to go first?
Oh yeah, I mean I definitely can go first. Like you said, that is the most important thing, who you around. I mean, we're in a world where people likes and social media and follows and who got the most. So if you're around someone that's a celebrity and they own your art, of course it boosts your celebrityness and your brand up. Like I said, tonight I plan on meeting Migos. Hopefully that goes right, because I just spent all morning doing their paintings. But I plan on doing it. It's been a good experience. Some of them, some are very receiving, like Boosie, so one of the cooler ones, Jeezy, one of the cooler ones. Some of them, not too so receiving, like Kodak Black. Some of them won't even take the painting. Matter of fact, yeah. So it's been different experiences. Mark Cuban, I met even on top of the rappers and the regular ones. Mark Cuban and Barbara Corcoran. Barbara Corcoran, first thing she said to me was, "Never put black in a woman's face." I had a black line coming off her nose. She said, "Use dark brown or something." So she critiqued my art. So you never know, somebody of that stature who in Manhattan, real estate in New York, you never know what what they might think about art and how they might critique it. So yeah, and look, when she took the picture with me, she covered the line up. So hey,
she really felt a certain way.
Yeah, I actually I picked that up from a couple of different other artists in the area that have done, or specialize in faces, and they expressed to me that you don't want to use black. You don't have black in your skin tone. We have different shades of red and orange and yellow and brown. Even if we're really, really dark, we still don't have black in our face.
True.
So just by hearing that changed how I did people's, faces.
I find it really interesting because back when I first started doing makeup, or when you get into makeup as a kid, one of my cousins is a famous makeup artist, and he told me the same thing. Don't use black on your face. Don't put black eyebrows. If you do your eyebrows, don't use black. Use brown. So that's interesting. I hadn't thought about it as far as painting and artwork goes, but I've heard the same thing about faces. Don't use that harsh red.
I'm gonna go a little left there too, because I use black a lot. We got different styles of live painting. She wants to layer and do browns and different, but I'm more the simple silhouette type when I paint live. But last night I did a portrait live, but I had most of the face done at home because I don't want the pressure of actually blending. I might be in bad lighting, music, it might be uncomfortable, so I want to do kind of the easy parts when I'm doing it live for real. So I use black. I just use black on Migos. I mean, it depends on where the light source is coming from.
Right. That's true. Yeah, that's true. You could use black. You could use a dark purple.
Yeah.
I mean, it's up to the artist.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. It really is. And I've done silhouette, and I've used just black.
True.
You know what I mean? So it just depends on the piece that you're doing.
How you feeling?
Exactly. So I don't say it's a wrong thing.
Yeah, no.
But it's a point, a good point to okay, use brown instead of black for certain faces that you may do. From my experience with doing the different celebrities that I've done most recently, I'll Be Sure. When I did I'll Be Sure, like I said, first of all, he knew who I was. I was surprised. I was taken aback. He's like, "Yeah, I know who you are." I'm like, "You know me?" And he was like, "Yeah, I see. I follow you. I watch your stuff." So that was really encouraging and a boost, because it's like, wow, okay, I gotta keep my grind going. Just keep it exactly.
Kevin Arrington likes my shit.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just like you just gotta keep going, keep grinding, and you never know who's gonna see it. And he loved the painting. And same thing with Tony Rock. He was just impressed because they had to, for that, I went to DC Improv and brought it in there with me, and they weren't allowing people to do the meet and greet. So I was like, okay, I got to talk to security. I was like, look, I got this painting for him. They were like, oh, okay, let's see if he's going to take it. So they were like, yeah, you got the green light to come into the green room. And when I went there, and he was just like, yo, who did you do this? I was like, yes. He was like, yo, this is dope as, he just was crazy. And then his entourage was like, yo, how long did it take you to do this? And when I told them I did it last night, they were like, you did it last night?
That's why I was like, if I meet Migos,
couple hours.
I'm like, yo, I did this earlier this morning.
Exactly. They're surprised that you do it like this, So
have y'all I'm guessing a lot of good business have came from that practice.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like I said, people want to order from you when they see you with a celebrity. Everyday people, your friends, the people that you grew up with. Right. You can start a business, but then they don't want to hop on until they see you doing good. Right. Oh my goodness! I heard people tell me, "Let me get your stuff now before I can't get to you."
Oh my goodness!
And they those are the people that are right, because I could be in Cali somewhere to drop in one meeting. One person say, "Hey, yo, come on tour with me in live paint every city I'm going." So
and that's
people
funny.
Won't be able to get their canvases. The price is going up.
Exactly, man. And that's what a lot of people have hit me up recently, and they were just like, "Yo, like, where can I get it?" I was like, "You better get it now before it goes up, or I'm gonna be in high demand." So,
yeah, I mean I think that's something that you have to get to. A lot of people that are your fans, a lot of people that are seeing your art, like. You need to realize these people this is their livelihood. They're really putting time and effort and a hustle into it. That what you get now at this day might not necessarily be what you can get later. And usually what happens with people is they'll pass on something, see how good something becomes, and then now they're like, oh damn, I should have had that.
And then they'll say you changed.
Right.
And they'll say you changed when you don't answer your inbox.
That's a slippery slope. I mean. Success does a lot of things to the person who is who's becoming successful, but also the people around them that are perceiving the success. Sometimes you just gotta move different. Right. You can't move the same.
It's growth.
Yep.
Yeah. It's growth.
People don't understand that.
People that don't grow don't get it.
People don't understand me not jumping for custom shirts anymore like I used to. Yeah. That's how I started.
You in a different $30,
$40 off shirts. No, I'm focused on $500,000 paintings now.
Yeah.
Right.
All right, so when we come back, we'll just get a little bit deeper into the art. BeExposedRadio.com, Artist Exchange, call 410-702-5657. And we're on to a break.
I guess.
Ladies, are you in need of the best quality hair extensions, a cute outfit, or that perfect pair of shades? Pink Ice products can cover you from head to toe, from flawless weaves to apparel. Visit us online at pinkiceproducts.bigcartel.com. We're located at 3000 Old Alabama Road, 119-303, Alpharetta, Georgia. Or give us a call at 470-488-6484. Come on in and check out Pink Ice products today.
Check out this flashback of the Artist Exchange Radio Show on BeExposedRadio.com.
Joining us right now is Mr. Antonio Long. He was one of our first See Baltimore artists. That tour is actually under construction, and we're doing some revamping and making sure the foundation is solid.
Yes.
So we haven't forgotten about it. So December we kind of took a pause, and we'll be back up and running in January. My mind is gone. Food. I need food. If you're in the downtown Baltimore area and you have a cheeseburger in your hand, definitely stop past the studio. Give me a call and let me know where you are, and I'll meet you wherever you are. But Antonio Long is joining us in the building. He's a singer, inspirational, not necessarily gospel, not necessarily R&B, but encompassed of both of them. Yeah. So let us know a little bit about who you are, what you do.
Singer, writer, recording artist, and I just like to make good music.
There we go.
From Baltimore.
So possibly we'll hear a little bit of it live, if he's not afraid, because we throw people under the bus.
Yeah.
Talent-wise.
No doubt.
On this show. We got to see if you got the chops to sink or swim.
Okay.
We do it. We don't hold back here. We don't hold back here. But we'll definitely try to hear from him a couple more segments. So let us know about your music. So do you have an EP coming out, or is it one in the making?
I just released the EP, actually, October 28th.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, it's called Life.
Life.
Yeah.
So what was it like making that?
It was fun. This is my first... it's 8 songs on the project, so it's kind of a little more lengthy than your typical EP. But I put out a mixtape last year but this is my first official project. Okay. Everything else has been singles. So
you're singing your own music now?
I'm singing my own music.
Did you write it?
All original music. Yeah.
Okay.
And it was fun. The creative process was fun. I worked with Junior Lee.
Okay.
With Faith Junkie Productions. He's based out of Delaware.
Okay.
And it was fun. You know, I was going up there. 2-3 times.
It was business because it's your money on the line.
Definitely.
Right. No major labels.
Yeah, no doubt. It was fun. It gave me. I mean, it's more work than what I expected. Honestly, I mean, because
you're doing a bunch of different. You're writing and the performer in it, so that's 2 big jobs right there.
Yeah, it was definitely. But creatively, it was great. It was great collaborations. I also worked with Anthony Johnson. He produced a song off of the EP. He's from Virginia, and I worked with So For Real Productions.
You deal with some legit individuals. Okay.
Yeah. So.
The Artist Exchange Radio Show every Friday 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. every Saturday 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. Real artist, real talk, real live on BeExposedRadio.com.
Ladies, are you in need of the best quality hair extensions, a cute outfit, or that perfect pair of shades? Pink Ice products can cover you from head to toe, from flawless weaves to apparel. Visit us online at pinkiceproducts.bigcartel.com. We're located at 3000 Old Alabama Road, 119-303.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Hey, welcome back. BeExposedRadio.com, Artist Exchange. I'm your host, TJ TranceVizion Bates. ArtistVision.com, check that out. We have a War of Art pop categories going on. You can vote now. The winner wins $100. So
wait a minute. What's this? What do we do? How do we do this? $100.
Oh well. Pretty much I had an opening for artists. It was pop category and abstract category. The cutoff was 10 people per category, but so many people kind of got in.
Look out for me, brother. Look out for me.
Hey man, I've been posting it. Some people was just like, oh, I don't have the $5 to get in, and now somebody
$5 right now, brother.
Somebody is about to win $100 just off of a picture of their artwork.
Well, who was the first artist? Wasn't it the young lady one first? Her picture was dope though. That
abstract.
Yeah. Let me see. You don't have to do it right now. Like I was just, trying.
I can't remember her name off the top. And my Instagram is crashed.
Oh yeah, that abstract Jones.
Yeah. It was kind of heated, but the pop art, like
it's close.
The first day. It was close. The first day.
I don't know about the votes, but I seen the pictures and they all. I don't know which one to vote on.
The ones I thought was going to be getting a lot of votes actually didn't, but it came like the first day. One artist kind of like blew up the other artist, and then the other artist kind of posted like co-vote, and then it kind of switched. Like one artist got 50% of the votes so far out of all the votes that was.
Oh, nice.
And that's a revenue. A stream of revenue for you off of artwork, and you don't have to physically be any place.
Yeah. That's true.
Today we have 2 guest visual artists in. We got Antonio Moore and Kimeko.
Hey.
I would say real hustlers of the art game. Antonio Moore, we done had a couple like Facebook messages breaking down the business aspect of the art game.
Yes.
That I think a lot of people kind of either don't really want to be bothered with or just kind of overlook
or don't have it.
Yeah, it's the business savvy part that you need to be a great artist in this atmosphere of art world with so many artists that's in it. Yes. And so many artists that do kind of similar to the same thing that you do. So it's kind of like you got to stand out. And I just kind of stumbled into that. But how do you see yourself standing out in the art game? Like, what do you feel like you do that makes you stand out?
Grind harder, and I try to be versatile.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people know, like I said, I do the silhouettes when I live paint, but I just did a Brady custom piece last week. I just did an abstract. I like to keep everybody guessing. That way, I can go in any realm. I can go into the abstract realm. I want to start sculpting. I've never tried spray paint, so I'm like always trying to try new. So some artists are just locked in with pencil, charcoal, oil. I'm always trying to learn new techniques. I've only been doing canvas for 8 years. I'm still a baby in my eyes. So I just feel like my eagerness to learn and grind harder really and know that I'm still young, I think that just keeps me like on top of my game.
And I see you really like getting your sons into into working, and it's just like give you that DJ Khaled feel, like with a side like he's an executive producer on the album and he can't even walk.
Yeah,
it's kind of really, I think, building up your brand, but building up a business that can continue on even after you stop.
That's what it's all about. Is building, is leaving for my kids. Like my oldest, he's 12. I just put out his coloring book.
Yeah, I seen that.
5 of them one day. They was gone in an hour. We came back home. I said, if I was you, I'd be drawing some more cards. Like seriously, he's sitting around playing the game. Like you just made $30 and quick.
Right.
So, but I just think it is something to leave on. That's why I'm focused on the legal aspect now.
Right.
Trademarks, copyrights. So that way everything's protected. And that way I can start to license my art.
Yeah, that's where the money at.
Yeah, licenses the companies. That's what you see those paintings in what? Target, Walmart, those big zebras, Marilyn Monroe. That's an artist that licenses it to that canvas company, and they're giving him a percentage residually. So that's what I'm really trying to get to. Even with my clothing, just licensing, getting to the point where I own it legally and can pass it on.
With I'm sorry.
My bad. But did you have something?
No, one of my question for you, because most artists don't like doing live performance art, or not performance, but visual art. Why do you decide to do it? Because most of them don't want their technique to be seen, or how do you get the nerve to do it?
I do it because people like to see stuff done live, and they're more likely to spin and be in awe when they see it from start to finish. Last night I did 2 live. People was like, one girl was like, I looked up and I looked over, it was done. Like people like just love that. It's entertainment. It's entertainment, just like just like Bob Ross back in the day. We used to watch him all day, sit there and paint happy trees and stuff. So people, and then people love what they can't do. A guy came up to me last night and said, if I could trade any talent in the world, I would be able to do art.
I think he's on Netflix now too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You can
And that's one of my inspirations.
Shows, but we just sit there
and then giving up the technique. You know, because I already got a sketch. People don't know how I sketched it, how I got it on there.
But they still can't do you.
Yeah, they can't beat me. They can't beat me. Everybody, we can have the same resources right here. And my grind, I feel like I'm going out grinding.
And they could be equally as good, but it's just coming from your perspective versus their perspective.
Yeah, and then I do like my abstract. Some people do different backgrounds. I do more like a Basquiat type background where
Look at this man knowing his art history.
Has some hidden. Oh yeah, Basquiat, 110 million just broke the record.
Yeah.
So I may have some hidden messages in the background. So it depends on how I feel.
Details.
Yeah. Same with me too. I think like
research.
The other night when I was painting.
So you live paint as well? Okay.
Yeah, I paint live like every couple weeks, like twice a week, sometimes 2 or 3 different locations in one day.
I met her live painting. We met live painting together, right beside each other.
Wow. So you do more artwork or art events, or you just go out on the streets and let me just set up my easel?
Well, I have management with LW, and they set me up to go paint in different places live, Busboys and Poets and stuff. So,
and when we get back, I'll be skipped over to LW, but I wanted to get more into that, so maybe other artists can use that as a resource or help out. Artist Exchange Radio, BeExposedRadio.com. I'm your host, TJ TranceVizion. Bates, call in 410-702-5657. Comment, show some support for the artists.
Artist Vision.
ArtistVizion.com.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Check out this flashback of the Artist Exchange Radio Show on BeExposedRadio.com.
Welcome back to the Artist Exchange Radio Show, here live on BeExposedRadio.com. In the building, we have live Mr. Michael writer. There we go. And Mr. Steve Yarn. They're doing a partnership based on what was it again? The stories of the Vulcan Blazers. An awesome production that they have coming up. And now the name of it will be called Baltimore Heat. There we go. They were telling us a little bit about, they're in the pre-production phase of developing this Baltimore-based production. It seems like a really awesome idea, and I always love for more artistic events to come here, and because it's more of an event because you guys are going to actually use Baltimore as your complete backdrop of the city, and that's very awesome to hear.
Yeah, we want people to fall in love with this project through the visions and the tales we're going to tell about these firefighters, but also we want them to fall in love with the city of Baltimore. Just like they did with Miami Vice and Chicago Fire and NYPD Blue and
Sex in the City,
and all these other places that have the city as a star as much as the artists and the actors are.
And that's Baltimore has for many years have been the backdrops of many movies. I could think of a few Whoopi Goldberg movies, Sleepless in Seattle. A lot of these movies that have always used Baltimore as a scene. Not to mention The Wire and Homicide and countless other movies, House of Cards. All these movies and television shows have always used it, but it was never really about Baltimore. They always included Baltimore in the story or the backdrops or certain historical scenery,
things they absolutely needed to say.
But it never House of Cards actually shoots in Baltimore. But they're saying that it's Washington D.C. So they're shooting here and not even giving us credit for the place we're here.
The Artist Exchange Radio Show every Friday 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. every Saturday 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. Real artist, real talk, real live on BeExposedRadio.com.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Hey, welcome back. Artist Exchange, BeExposedRadio.com. I'm your host, TJ TranceVizion Bates. Check out ArtistVizion.com. That's with a Z, not an S in Vision.
I'm your co-host, Sweet Baby, Zaki, aka Zakiya Ayanna. And I'm 1/3 of Appreciate the Arts. We are having our Sticky Bun Festival, first annual Sticky Bun Festival on September 9, 2017. It is also a celebration of the 3rd year anniversary of the Artist Exchange Radio Show. It will be hosted by Nate. And I just want to throw in a few more artists that we'll be having at this festival. D. Antoinette, these are our poets. I'm also a poet. And some of my poet friends, D. Antoinette, Jillian from New York, Jarrell, Duke the Rude, Maya, and my favorite poet, Black Chakra, will be at Sticky Bun Festival performing. Please come. It's a free event. Again, September 9th, 2017 from 4 to 8 at the Why Not Lot at North of Charles.
Definitely come out and check that out. And to our guests, if y'all free during the 9th, come out and check that out. I definitely want to hear Black Chakra. He's like he was one of my favorite poets, actually.
He's my absolute favorite. I'm trying to get under his wing. I'm putting it out there. I be hitting like my son William is like has worked with him over the summer. Like I'm legit like I'm an old head, but I want let me know, put me under your wing. So I'm trying to get out there, and if I can't, I'm trying to get my son out there. So he's really one of my.
I live painting Art Rising every month, so I'm familiar with Black Chakra. Yeah.
He was like one of them poets. Like when I first, the first time I heard him spit his poem, I was like, oh yeah.
Yeah. Especially, I think he did that Donald Trump joint where he was like, my fist and something, my finger, and then talking about something.
He's incredible.
Yeah, it was real.
Oh, and shout out to our guests today. We have Antonio Moore. We have Kimeko. Live painters. I think that's a
teacher.
Sips and paints
Sips and Paints.
And I actually started teaching before the Sip and Paints. I started teaching in 2010 with shirt classes. Because I used to hand paint shirts like the Mesquite style. But I actually started a class where I started kids painting their own shirts. So I did it at the Boys and Girls Club in Harford County, and I had a few contracts on the Army base. So I started before even the Sip and Paints with the fabric paint.
See, artists need to take note. Like, I think you have a gift. Give it back to the youth. and just work with, even if it's not even random kids, but more so like even within your family, and showing them another route to think outside the box of sports, think outside the realm of entertainment as in music, but just show them that it's something else that we can do. I just think art-wise, we just got to build it up and more appreciation for art, so people can, because I think it's always a joke when it comes to a career in art.
Because
it's always been
because the classic cliche is what? Starving artists.
Yeah,
like,
even when I was in school, they were just like, "How are you going to make money off of this?" And so I went into graphic design, and guess what? I'm not even doing graphic design like that. I'm doing art, and I'm making more money with my art than I was with graphic design.
And the graphics.
I mean, I do, but like, you know, eventually, once I get the equipment, you know, you need the equipment.
Art is like one of them things, like, it's kind of like college. Like, regardless if you just take the classes, if you don't apply and network within the realm of the business, you're really not going to see any fruitful things from it.
Right.
So, when you talk about networking, and I know you're with
LW Arts and Designs.
Just go into a little bit of what they do and how it has benefited you.
LW Arts and Designs is a company that supports other artists that are out there. They specialize in doing paints and sips for parties, kids, you know, the youth, and they do murals. They do what else? Live paintings. What else? And we travel too. So if you are in Atlanta or Florida or New York, we will go there. You know, the biggest paint party that we recently had last month was 70 people. And they just keep getting bigger and bigger. So just doing commissioned work. And we have also up and coming Artist Lifestyle is its own brand, and basically it is an art show that LW Arts and Designs puts on. This is the second year, and it went really well last year. We actually did some news footage on it a couple weeks ago to promote for the art show, which is on September 3rd in Kettering Shopping Center.
I'm in it too.
Largo, Maryland. Yes, my boy Antonio's in the show with us.
It's a star-studded art lineup in the DMV area. I can say that.
It is, and we've got the best artists in the city. We have Damonn Pender. We have myself, Kimeko Robinson. We have Antonio. We have so many different artists,
which is LW.
Talented artists out there, and we have new performers that are coming out. They're really talented. You know, food, just everything. People that do clothing. We have David that's going to be there. He's he draws. He's a character, I would say. I guess so. Yeah, it's going to be awesome. You got to come out and support and show your love. You're going to have a great time. It's on Sunday, September 3rd from 5 to 11, I believe. So.
And for the people that's listening or just breezing past, make sure you follow these two. Make sure you check them out, because if you're not following them, you don't know the show is going on and you're missing out. There's so much going on with a lot of artists, and it's very mashed up when you're talking about artists, music, poetry. Just the atmosphere is something that you really need. I think it's a good Friday night, Thursday night, Saturday night. It's always something going on. It's a good date night if you want to take your lady out, or just you want to impress somebody, or something that matter. Like, just take them out to see something different, experience something different. So where can they find you at? All social medias.
Okay.
Like
so my social media, first with Instagram, it's TKOKO Creole, and for Facebook it is Fine Artists T-Coco Creole. That's TEEKOKO Creole. And Twitter is T-Coco Creole. Well, I'm sorry, T-Coco_Creole. So you can find me at those places. I'm usually on Instagram all the time. So if you ever want to hit me up, I'll probably respond to you faster on Instagram than I do on Twitter. Facebook, even less. But yeah, you can find me on all my stuff, all my work, and what I'm doing on those social medias.
Okay. And with me, you can find me on Instagram, Antonio O'Neal, ANTONIO. ONEAL, hashtag Antonio Moore Art. It should pop up. I got like 4,000 posts on my hashtag, so proud of that. And Facebook, Antonio Moore. Twitter, Antonio Moore. Yeah, events. I'm also in the Artist Lifestyle event. Got another Pancake and Booze coming up. I'm in Raw, August 23rd. Got a few open paint parties myself coming up. Like she was saying about the biggest paint parties, me and LW, we started around the same time, about 2 years ago, when paint night first blew up. You know, everyone started to say, hold up, what is these paint parties? Right. We was all hitting each other. Hey, how much is the easel? Hey, where'd you get your canvas? Where'd you get your easels? We was all inboxing each other, me and Luther, everybody. So, like she said 70 people. That's great. I think my biggest was 50 before I did Morgan. I did 100 at Morgan, which I raised a scholarship. So I'm actually using my paint parties to do fundraising, which is bringing me bigger people. So Morgan we did 100 this year. We did 50 last year, and I just did like 70 last Friday. So that was 2 separate parties. So I'm having some open ones coming up in DC, and I'm looking to get to the elevated parties in DC, like the puffin paints too. So we got to take advantage of that market too. It's legal. It's legal.
I'll leave that one to you.
Yeah. Hey, I've had so many people ask me, the demand is there, and then eventually I'll be trying to branch to Colorado and California. Why not? I'm trying to start one brand like Paint Night. Paint Night makes $50 million a year doing what we do. But they got about 6,000 artists too.
That's true.
So I mean, we're on the right track. Just gotta get there faster. In my eyes, I'm impatient for success.
I mean, it's a business. It's a business aspect of really a skill that you possess, a skill that you hone over time, and just for me, the art was just like a learning process, discovering new aspects of myself. And then you can turn that into a business, you can turn that into a livelihood, and then you can operate on your own time and pretty much make your own schedule. Even though it's a struggle that I think, people still have full-time jobs and jobs like that, like bouncing back and forth.
True. I went to work yesterday, it killed me. Thursday. I went because I do property management on the side. I did it full-time for 3 years, and I do it like with a staffing company here and there. They called me on an assignment. I went for 1 day. Mentally, I was like
drained,
like that's like in that 8 hours I normally can do, and then the little bit of money I made, I'm looking like I made that last night live painting times 2. What I did in 8 hours at a job, I'm looking like, look, I turned up. It just took me like power broke. My man Damonn John, who I follow, he calls it the power broke. It's like when you down, more ideas start clicking. The more ideas start clicking, it's like, hold on, how can I not be this down again? Like, how can I not have to go back to that job again? And it's like, since then, I've been playing the pool party. I done set up a sip and paint, live paintings, meeting Migos tonight. So it's like,
I don't know about the pool party. Is it?
Oh yeah, that's next Sunday. That's it's on Eventbrite. Swimsuits and shades. It's on Eventbrite.com on Facebook. You can find it. 10 in advance, 15 at the door. It's at the Aberdeen Swim Center. But yep, so I got a lot going on.
So are you gonna be having, like, are you gonna be painting there?
I'll live paint there.
Okay.
I'm gonna have art.
Because I'm just like, how is this like?
Yeah, you already know. I'm a live paint and have art there.
Okay.
But I'm just trying to venture out into other
avenues.
Yeah, other avenues too, as far as entertainment.
Right.
Gotta make a living out here.
Lump sums. I like lump sums.
Yeah.
I ain't have no paint parties this week, so I need
something else.
I'm gonna say I just came from work before here.
And then, like, even with the business aspect, like we spoke on earlier, I look back, I've been hustling art since I've been in elementary school. Me and my homeboy, when Beavis and Butthead was out, we actually made our own Beavis and Butthead comic books in the 5th grade.
Nice.
And I was selling them for like $3 each. We would pause it on the VCR and draw it and make our own script and go staple it together, go to school and sell them. Like, so yeah, I think back, I've been doing the business side of art since I've been about 10. Yeah, I've just always been a hustler in some way.
But hey,
and I'm learning. I'm slowly learning. So, because I've always done the art, but it's like actually the business side, I'm steadily learning on how to, promote myself and sell my art.
Registered on copyright.gov. Yeah, so really going forward, copyrighting everything.
Yeah.
I hate when I sell something and like, that's one paint not in copyright that could have. Yeah.
Somebody, I mean,
need the money now, but then you think about it, how many paintings I can really have copywritten, but then that's money too.
Yeah, that's
$35 per copyright.
Do y'all deal with galleries?
I have.
Like,
when I first started, I was at the art. Oh my gosh, what is the name of that art gallery? It's in Oxon Hill, Camp Springs actually, and I had my first, realistic painting in there for like 6 months.
Okay. I haven't dealt with as many as I would like.
Mm-hmm.
I've went through the Georgetown area. I would like to deal with galleries like Artist Proof. There was one that they gave me their card and I emailed them. They didn't get back to me, like the LaFont Gallery, like an older gallery in Georgetown. But I have some in Havre de Grace at the Artist Emporium. I have some at Lithicum Heights, which is it's like a jewelry store / art gallery called Luxembourg Jewelers.
Mm-hmm.
And I have some at like a barbershop in Edgewood that I use kind of like my own gallery. So I build those relationships with everyday shops and stuff, people too, because you know barbershops got 30, 40 people every day walking in there, army, government, different classes of people. So you never know who might walk in there just like a gallery and buy something. So
well, I say sometimes you gotta just hike with your artwork and put it some places that I think when I go in places now, that's the first thing I look for. Like, what they got on their walls? Like, what can possibly go on these walls and stuff like that?
I had a barber from Seattle been following me for a minute. Just like, I'm waiting to get my money together because, I want to get this big piece on my wall. And I'm just like, okay. And I've constantly told him the prices. He's like, okay, I'm getting it together. But he's just like, do you ship? I was like, absolutely, I ship. And it will be included in the price,
Right.
of the art. So double that, And you live in Seattle, why not? Shoot. There'll be people on the West Coast seeing my stuff.
Next year, I plan on going international. I couldn't do it this year for finances, but I had the Tokyo International Art Show in Amsterdam actually invite me. So
nice.
Yeah, but the cheapest booth is like, I think booth is like $3,000.
Oh.
But I think you can get like a digital display for like $800.
What?
And then plus the travel and all that. So I mean, it's worth it. Because at Tokyo last year, a guy sold the highest painting was $50,000. A guy sold.
Wow.
So you figure even if I got to spend $7,000 booth travel, and I might can put $10,000 on each painting.
So do you like for a show like that though? Like, and I was talking to him before about just doing a show in LA. So my question is, how do we transport our stuff
there, and it
pray that it gets there safely?
When I did my show in Dallas, fortunately I was dealing with someone where I shipped it to their house, but I shipped all the pieces out there first. Okay. And it was there when I got there.
Okay, so then that's the route. I mean, but for like Tokyo though, I don't know anybody in Tokyo.
Yeah, I think the art show might actually have somewhere for you to ship it to.
Oh, okay.
To ship the work or the hotel you book.
Oh, okay, that's right. I've done that when I shipped a piece to New Orleans for an event. So yeah, I did ship it to the hotel.
And you have a lot of people that ship down to what's that, Art Basel?
That's where I
want to go. Oh man,
yeah, it's coming up. I'm thinking about.
Look,
let's rent a 15-passenger van and go. Let's seriously. We can load up. Get about 7, 8 in the 15-passenger. Load the rest with artwork. Let's head down there.
Oh my goodness.
All go in gas. What?
I'm down.
I'm serious. It's end of November.
Because when I went, oh my gosh, I was like a kid in a candy store. Like, how do I get in the show? How do I get in the show?
There's so many shows.
It's so many, and there's
it's like a whole strip.
There's so many galleries, shows all over the city. You get this booklet, and my cousin was like, "Okay, just go to the ones that you want." I went to a show on a yacht. I went to a show like in Wynwood. It was just so many shows everywhere. It was just awesome. I was just like, "Oh my god, I want more."
Gotta check that out.
Yes.
BeExposedRadio.com, Artist Exchange, ArtistVision.com. Last segment coming up.
Check out this flashback of the Artist Exchange Radio Show on BeExposedRadio.com.
If you had a dream venue, where would that be? Like, some people want to do Carnegie Hall or like a big stadium somewhere.
I want to go with Madison Square. I wanna feel that building.
So you just gonna shoot for the moon.
I wanna feel it. I wanna look out and just feel the vibration of all of those people there to be uplifted and all of that, 'cause that's what I want to do for people.
So are you dancing? Are you...
I want to implement that. I think I want to start doing some blocking, like not like tear it up, but just like a
little 1-2,
hell, a little, not voguing, but kind of the essence of it, very posy and hit the mark. Yeah, we're not trying to like bust out sweats.
So that's mean you don't have the dance gene and you.
I can dance.
Okay,
that's
not what I
was doing. I can dance, but I'm not, trying to give that. That's not my lane. I want to keep it really kind of a retro feel with like the new school with a retro feel. Like
okay. Little Banji soul.
Yeah.
People gonna start using that.
Right. And they should.
Little Banji soul. Yeah. But just mark it so people know, like this was mine.
This where it came from. Because people was queens out here now that was princesses last week. They was princesses before my album dropped. Now they queen or something. Like, pinky up.
I cannot. The Artist Exchange Radio Show every Friday, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m., every Saturday, 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. Real artist, real talk, real live on BeExposedRadio.com.
Hey everybody, check out what you missed on the one and only Be Inspired Radio Show.
Focus on the word take for a moment.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. I mean, when I begin to just, think about take. Mm-hmm. When you taking something, yes, we think about the possession and grab and hold, but when you taking something on, you're capturing it, you're securing it, and you become impregnated with that.
Wow.
Tune in to Be Inspired every Wednesday live at 7 p.m. right here on BeExposedRadio.com.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Exposed Radio.
Definitely not taking responsibility for other people's emotions and things that's going on, and owning up to who you are.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Yeah. Welcome back, BeExposedRadio.com. Artist Exchange, Artist Vision. I'm your host, TJ TranceVizion Bates.
I'm your co-host, Sweet Baby, aka Zakiya Ayanna, and we're here today with
Kimeko Robinson, yep,
and Antonio Moore. Thank y'all for being on.
Thank you for having us.
And just for general IG purposes, mine is TranceVizion. You can check me out at TranceVizion. Where can we find y'all on IG and other social media? So just in case they missed it.
Okay, on IG you can find me TKOKOCREOLE. That's Tikoko Creole. Facebook is Fine Artist Tikoko Creole, and Twitter is Tikoko_Creole.
Antonio O'Neal on Instagram, ANTONIOONEAL, hashtag Antonio Moore Art, Facebook Antonio Moore, Twitter Antonio Moore, hashtag Antonio Moore Art everywhere.
And you can find me on Instagram at Galactic Zach, that's GALATICZAK, and you can find me on Facebook as Zakiya Ayanna.
And I want to give a shout out to Hollywood, usual co-host that I do when I do mine. He always asks artists. I think it's a great question, introspective. Looking back at your younger self, probably like 17, 18, and where you're at now, what advice would you give yourself? Like, what path would you try to lure them down to be like, all right, this is what's good, this is what's not?
Same path I took, honestly, because I had my first shirts made with my signature on them at 17. So I've had this vision in my senior yearbook. In my quote, it was, "Mate, what are you going to do after you leave high school? Major in business and run my own clothing line." So clothing, art, like always, I've always wanted to do like clothing, like food. Damonn John's my man for a reason. Like I've always looked up to him, Diddy, like Russell Simmons, all the black moguls. So clothing, art. How he brought in Fat Albert with the FUBU. Like, he always had, like, even though it's clothing, it's still a form of art design.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I would take the same path.
With me, I always knew that I would do something in art. Painting, drawing, graphics. Actually, I also did modeling. In my senior book, I said I'm going to be an artist/model. So I never saw myself doing anything else but art. I've always loved it, and it's just in me to do it. And just learning the business now is what I'm working on.
So at this point now, looking back when y'all 17, y'all ain't got no advice for yourself?
Yes. I do, actually. Leave the boys alone and focus on the art.
Yes, that part.
See, I would say like focus on art, not work as many jobs, but I can't say that because working all them jobs made me pissed off, like to not want to work at them, like, and then they gave me different skills. Like I said, I do property management, so that came from working customer service, mortgage. I done done it all. I done it all from delivery to everything you can think of.
And you go through those things for a reason, because how are you going to learn, you know? How are you going to learn anything? And, I mean, I definitely would tell my younger self, just focus. Like, really hone into your craft, I would say. And learn the business sooner than later. Like, definitely with gaining, you know, receiving that money, making a profit from it, and not waiting and getting those odd jobs, like you said. But at the same time, you learn from that. And how can I better myself? Well, I know that this is not for me because I've now experienced this. I do not want to be in sales, you know. So,
I mean, that's the advice that a lot of people have where you get you, and then when you look back on certain pitfalls. And I think a lot of, like, dealing with women and stuff like that, like, that tends to be a distraction for a lot of people at that point in time in their life. And it's just like, you already have that thing right there. You already have it. You just got to nurture that egg. You just got to sit on it a little bit, warm it up, and then you can really birth something and give birth to something very creative. And it's just, you know, I used to paint on shoes back in high school. Didn't really understand. Like, I was just doing it just for the moment, just to do it, not really looking at it from a business point of view. So I think great advice that you could give, you know, is just kind of hone in and focus. You know, man, everything else is going to be there once you get to where you get.
Right.
But I thank y'all for coming out.
Thank you.
Great insight
for having us.
It builds a person's appreciation for artists when they hear their story. When they just, you know what I'm saying, you can talk to you when you out painting, live painting. I'm sure y'all welcome people come and talk to y'all.
Yes.
And you know where to check them out at IG, Facebook. You know, purchase some of their paintings or get them to do a sip and paint, something like.
Come to the art show, something.
Come
like
to the art show,
Sunday,
September 3rd.
September 3rd.
Yes.
And if you're an
artist lifestyle,
talk to them. They have some valuable information.
I'm coming out with a book, The Business of Art. Should be out next year.
You better hurry up and get it before.
Oh no, that one you can get no matter where I'm at. It'll be online, Amazon, everywhere. I can be in Dubai and you can get that book.
Right.
So, hey, I'm in the business of sitting back.
Oh, shout out to LW.
Yep, shout out Luke Wright, Charles Sanders.
Charles, Body.
Big Body, yep.
All right, thank y'all. Thanks for co-hosting, and make sure y'all check out ArtistVizion.com.
Check out this flashback of the Artist Exchange Radio Show on BeExposedRadio.com.
Welcome back to the Artist